What's up, Airsofters? This is the G&G G2H Advanced, also known as the Tr16 Mbr 308. The G&G Tr16 Mbr 308 is part of the new G2 design philosophy from G&G, and not only features the G2 gearbox, but also has a lot of new features. But we'll get into the gearbox in a little bit. Starting with the externals, we've got a full metal upper and lower receiver and a full metal key mod compatible handguard. Keep in mind this does use G&G's key mod. On the handguard, to decrease weight, they've also semi-skeletonized the upper 20mm rail segments. It does have one single length rail right across the top for a tremendous amount of accessories if you choose to mount them, and a full metal flip up front and rear sight. On the receiver itself, you've got a lot of new functionality for G&G that makes this platform extremely usable for right and left-handed shooters. First of which is the 90-degree select fire switch, allowing you to select between safe, semi on the 45 and fully automatic on the 90. That's really, really nice and kind of eliminates the problems that come from a 180 or standard select fire switch. Just in front of those, you've got a full set of ambidextrous controls, one for releasing the locking bolt when you adjust the hop up, which can be released from either side, and an ambidextrous mag release button. Now, something unique about the magazine itself is it comes with a follower on the top, and that follower is part of the new G&G G2 gearbox design that stops the G2 from firing when you have an empty magazine. Of course, it is compatible with other magazines. With the 308, I'm not sure about compatibility with other brands, but for the future release of the 5.56 version of the G2, that will be cross-compatible with other brands. But the only ones allowing the functionality of stopping the firing are the G&G magazines. Continuing on to the other side, we get another view of the ambidextrous controls with the extended mag release button here in its standard spot, as well as, again, that bolt release. Pulling back on the ambidextrous charging handle gives you access to the rotary style hop up, which is, again, a really nice feature on the G2 rifle, and releasing it is very easy with either right or left hand. Again, a lot of functionality, ambidextrous functionality for right and left-handed shooters. Towards the back, we've got G&G's locking crane style stock. This is great because you have multi-position functionality and the ability to lock it in place. Additional storage underneath can be accessed by a push button on the left-hand side. And this is also a great place to access your battery compartment. Simply depress the button at the top here and rotate the stock pad around, giving you a view of the inside of the battery compartment. The crane style of the stock gives you a little bit more compatibility with batteries, and something new for G&G is it's finally pre-wired to Deans. I'm extremely excited by more and more brands offering superior connectors to the plain old Tamiyas, but G&G also understands that you may not have switched your batteries over to Deans style batteries yet, so they've included an adapter right out of the box so that you can use your existing batteries until you transition. Also inline wired is a replaceable automotive style fuse, which is easy to get to. Once you've connected your battery, tuck your wires up inside and close the stock pad like so. It'll click into place. We can then talk about the QD sling mount points on either side on the stock, as well as the traditional sling mount points on either side of the buffer tube. Up front, you have plenty of room to put a sling adapter. They haven't included one because it's more streamlined out of the box, but it's real easy to find a 20mm accessory sling adapter for the top rail or a key mod compatible sling adapter for the sides. Again, giving you the ability to place it where you want it and not being told where it needs to go is a great addition. But really what makes the G&G G2 design philosophy unique is the internals. The G2 has been completely revamped and upgraded in terms of its gearbox functionality, giving you a lot of performance both in the 308 and the 556. The G&G G2 Gearbox has been reinforced right out of the box with an about 70 to 74% increase in thickness on both the top leading edge of the gearbox and the front of the gearbox, giving you a lot better durability, especially when you're running really high spring rates or really high rates of fire and you're putting the gearbox through a lot of stress and strain. So really nice reinforcement there. Additionally, they've taken the standard ETU and decreased its size by about 50%, giving you a lot more room for things inside the gearbox, and also updated the MOSFET. The MOSFET now has an integrated audible alarm for when the battery is low in the gun and when there's a failure to fire from feeding on the magazine. So if there's an issue with the gun, there's a speaker that will audibly tell you that there's a problem so you can stop pulling the trigger and get that diagnosed. That is a huge advantage, especially for beginning players that may not understand when their gun has a problem, or for advanced players that may not be paying 100% attention to what's going on in their hands when they're scanning what's going on in front of them. Additional MOSFET controls are a 3 and 5 round burst, programmable on board. You don't need a separate programming device. That's all handled on board on the G2, which is huge, as well as, again, that stopped firing when you're using the G2 magazines. The gun knows when it's empty and will stop firing, so if you're looking for something with that enhanced realism, that is a really cool way to do it. To give you a better air seal and thus better performance out of a specific spring rate, they've also given you a double O-ring cylinder head and increased the padding on that cylinder head, as well as giving you a double O-ring air seal nozzle. It's going to give you better gas efficiency or better air seal, which gives you more efficiency with a given spring rate. So what does that mean for you as an airsofter that's buying this right out of the box? That means a less aggressive spring rate for better FPS performance, meaning less wear and tear on the gearbox itself. Continuing their pursuit of less wear and tear on the gearbox, G&G has completely redesigned the bevel gear, giving you an overall lower heat profile through friction and less power consumption due to better gear meshing. Pair all of those upgrades in the electronics and design of the gearbox with the new Dean's connector and you're going to have a much healthier, better performing electronic system. Now, in the off chance you need to change your spring for further distance outside or to lower your FPS for indoor play at a specific field, they've given you the ability to do that with a quick change spring system that's quickly becoming standard practice for all airsoft brands, and G&G has included it in their new G2 system. The G&G G2 system has been long awaited, and long awaited for good reason. There are a lot of new technologies used in this gearbox all at the same time, giving you an ultimate level of performance in an affordable package. Put that into the Tr16 Mbr 308WH or the new upcoming 556, and you really have a great platform for both beginning airsofters and experienced players alike. To find out more information about this incredible AEG, check it out on our website at Evike.com.